I'm letting the smile be my umbrella because you know what? There's a certain limp I have today, like the rest of Jets Nation, because the football gods just won't stop kicking us in the nards. Just won't do it. Won't stop. Can't stop.
I thought it was another pickleball injury.
No. I'm good with that.
Okay.
It's not a gangster.
He just won't stop. Can't stop. And it's kind of funny. For like a month, they stopped for a little bit. Philadelphia Eagles must look at that game on Sunday because it was in the late window on CBS. Nance, Romo, and the crew. They must have been sitting there in Kansas City and saying, really? That's our one loss? To those guys? That happened? Really? And the Kansas City Chiefs must have been like sitting there as well saying, really? We almost lost to those guys? Really? Yeah, because for a split moment, the football gods got together and decided to either give us our moment. They got together. It's two things. The football gods either got together, together and say, you know what? Let's just give the Jets fans a little bit of hope right here because it'll make it more fun for us when we kick them back in the nards. Or they just fell asleep. They just left their post empty for a while. They fell asleep. They took a nap. And then, somebody treated them like they were on a Quentin Tarantino set. At any rate, look that up in our archives about napping. Hey, listen.
Like a Polaroid.
I digress. All I know is just, once again, can't have it, won't have it. Can't have anything good. Can't. Because when Aaron Rodgers had his Achilles blown out just 5 snaps into the season, every Jet fan was like, oh, God. The entire plan of the entire offseason and the entire plan to change the fortunes and actually go for it and get Aaron Rodgers has just gone up in smoke. And this is now Zach Wilson's show again. Trust me, every move the Jets made from the minute they benched him last year with 2 weeks to go for the second time of the season, every move was made to make sure that Zach Wilson was not going to be the starting quarterback for the Jets this year. And in getting Aaron Rodgers, the plan was he's still so young that we can just let him sit there, let him marinate, let him learn from a GOAT. And then when the GOAT's done with his run here, we can hand things off to him because the pressure's off. He'll be more mature, so on and so forth. Good news is for the Jets, he's more mature because his benching in yesterday's game did not lead to what happened in New England last year when he got so smoked by the Patriots that he didn't take any responsibility for it, which led to his first benching in 2022 last year. He took this one like a vet. This is what he had to say after getting benched yesterday.
What was your reaction when they pulled you out?
Yeah, frustrated, but I get it. Got to score, got to be in games. When it's consecutive weeks of just doing nothing on offense, we can sit here and say last week we moved the ball, but we're not scoring. Essentially, it comes down to you got to score points. So when things aren't getting done, changes got to be made, and I understand that.
It's great to see him say that. That's exactly the attitude that you want him to have because he's growing and he's maturing. The problem is, of course, for us Jets fans, is it's difficult to hear it again. And believe it. And also, he also looks like one of Pinkman's mules from Breaking Bad. He's so young. It's just, with the hat and everything like that. Yeah. See, it's like he's hanging with Badger after the game. I'm rewatching. Can you tell I'm rewatching Breaking Bad again?
You are. That's heavy, man. That's real heavy. Whoa.
So it's tough to see because there's no chance on this planet that Aaron Rodgers should come back this year. None at all. Because any doctor worth his or her salt would tell somebody who, by the way, in December will turn 40, I'm medically clearing you to play on a speed-bridged Achilles tendon behind that offensive line and with this offensive scheme coordinated by your BFF. In any other situation, any offensive coordinator with this result would get bounced. You think Ken Dorsey got bounced unfairly? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is sitting back and working his ass off when he's not sitting back to get back. And this offense with Nathaniel Hackett and this offensive line and everything else that has been built around Rodgers that could not be reconfigured in a 3-month span to be successful with consistency, with Zach Wilson at the controls, behind an offensive line that just keeps getting hit and hit and hit with the same injury bug that hit Aaron Rodgers' Achilles heel, is so unbelievably bad. Let me just give you some stats about this offense. Choose whichever one you want. In 2 weeks, Tommy DeVito has as many touchdown passes for the Giants as Zach Wilson has had all season. Alan Lazard signed to a 4-year, $44 million contract so he can catch passes from Aaron Rodgers, has just 20 catches and 1 touchdown on the season, thanks to another game with such ineptitude finding receivers. Just 11 targets, 3 catches for 16 yards for receivers yesterday in Western New York. So bad that the guy who caught the longest pass of the day is a cornerback, Brandon Eccles, in a fake punt. And the quarterback who threw the pass was the punter, Thomas Morstead. 0 for 11 on 3rd down in Western New York, the lowest 3rd down conversion rate since 1991. Belongs to the current New York Jets, who are, wait for it, 30 for 131 on 3rd down this year. We'll do the math. We always do it for you. 22.9%. The lowest since 1991. The only teams with a higher 3rd down rate that was the lowest since 1991. In other words, the teams that they're currently, you can't say the word beating, I guess, out-sucking is the, I guess, appropriate word for it. Wait for it. The 0-2 Cowboys. Dave Campo coached, Quincy Carter quarterbacked. And the 0-5 San Francisco 49ers, Mike Nolan coached 4 quarterbacks. Alex Smith, fresh out of Utah, Cody Pickett, Tim Rattay, and the guy who just got bounced in Western New York, Ken Dorsey. By the way, just to show you what a lead pipe wielding professional I am, Arnez Battle was 2 for 2 that year.
Arnez Battle.
For the 49ers. That's how bad it is. You think Rodgers is going to come back behind this, for this? You think the Jets are going to be ready to have Rodgers come back in a situation where they're alive, which is a word he used as a metric for his measurement on whether he should come back when he was on Pat's show recently? Well, it's now in the hands of Tim Boyle because the Jets announced he's the guy on Black Friday. Congratulations, Prime Video. Congratulations, Amazon. Jeff Bezos must be like, can we return this, please? Is it possible to return this? Tim Boyle, when this schedule came out, I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, Rodgers, Dolphins, Jets are going to be in first place. Here we go. Instead, we got sent to us by Prime, Amazon Prime delivery. This bunch of nard kicking, it doesn't stop.
Tim Boyle. Huh?
From the football gods. What do you want from us? What do you want from us? Because at this point, Zach Wilson has now been benched for Joe Flacco, Mike White, and Tim Boyle. Do you get the sense he's not the guy? And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from Jets fans, what they should have done as soon as Rodgers went down. Carson Wentz, there's ice, and he stinks on it. I'm shooting you straight, Jet fans. The Eagles, the Colts, the football team / Commanders said there's a door, and let it please hit you on the ass the way out of it. The Rams have them now because they're out of options. And so the one guy the Jets should have been on, like the proverbial white on rice, rat on cheese, was Josh Dobbs when he's available for a 6th-round choice. And that's not 2020 hindsight because of what you're seeing, what he's doing in Minnesota. It's because of what you're seeing from his play from Arizona. Could have done that. Now, that wouldn't have been a bad choice. All it cost you was a 6, but maybe, again, you're messing with what Rodgers wants in place. And the question is, the Jets catering to that, knowing that Rodgers will come back and still be the guy, and maybe they could still have Zach be the pupil and be redeemed in time for his time to come. And the answer to that is, are you out of your minds? It's over. But the football gods will indeed, and it may come in the form of a Van Ginkel sack Friday, or it may come in the form of, let's put it this way, Calais Campbell sack if Boyle survives the Black Friday event, because that's what's next. Or, and this will be the ultimate in the lowest of the low. And I'm saying that, and there's a lot of lows that's happened since Zach Wilson came from BYU. Maybe it's when the Houston Texans come to town with their 2nd overall selection, who has clearly shown he has the stuff to do it in this league and for a long time to come. And maybe Will Anderson will be the guy to go get him from a defense that's not as good as the Jets. And maybe it's Tank Dell catching it. Because that would be particularly tough to swallow, this team that was 2nd and 3rd on the clock last year, flipping it around so fast with their 2nd overall selection quarterback, while the Jets have theirs benched for the 3rd time. So, don't get me started.
Too late. So you're saying you'd rather see Susan Boyle as your quarterback?
Hey,
Peter Boyle?
Whatever. You could go all in all you want. Fine.
I don't have any more
Keep going
Boyles.
all in.
Yeah.
Keep going all in. That's fine.
Danny Boyle?
All I'm saying is it comes from the top. And by the top, I'm not talking about the coach, who I adore, or the general manager, who has otherwise picked a ton of terrific groceries, or the owner. I'm talking about whatever football gods have had it in their minds to keep kicking us in the nards as Mekhi Becton goes out. No chance Rodgers comes back behind this offensive line. Not on this football planet. So keep losing games and pick a quarterback in Detroit's draft in the 1st round. In Detroit is what I meant. Go choose one. I can't believe they're back in that market, but you bet you're doing that, and it's too bad if number 8 doesn't like it, personally. Because let that kid come in and sit behind Rodgers while he finishes out his career, which I hope he does for the Jets, because I'm assuming he'll be just as good. I cannot believe we're in this position. By the way, last thing, Thanksgiving. When I'm done with work at night, when I'm home, I'm going to eat so much turkey, it's going to be insane, because I need the tryptophan to last all the way through to the end of Friday, because I don't want to watch a second of that. I just want to be asleep. I want to be in a coma.
Noon
Food
Pacific.
coma, just sit there. That's when the kickoff is, so it'll be, around 7 o'clock Eastern? Just wake me up at that point. I don't want any piece of this. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.